Hello and welcome to Modern Skills in English. Today we're talking about something almost everyone finds difficult: small talk. That specific, sometimes painful feeling of being in a new place, a career fair, a university event, the first day of an internship, and feeling like you have nothing to say.
It's the worst. My mind just goes completely blank. It feels like there's a spotlight on me, and everyone is waiting for me to say something brilliant. And all I can think is, don't say something stupid, don't be boring. So I usually just end up saying nothing. Then I feel invisible. I just don't know what to talk about.
And what if the real problem isn't about what to talk about? What if the goal isn't to have something to say at all?
What else is there? A conversation is about talking.
Most students think that. They believe a good conversation depends on being interesting, on having clever stories or funny jokes ready to go.
Yes, exactly. You have to perform. You have to prove you're worth talking to.
That sounds reasonable, but that pressure is the very thing that makes our minds go blank. It frames the entire interaction as a test you can fail.
I fail it all the time.
But what if it's not a test? What if small talk is a tool, not for performance, but for discovery? The goal isn't to be interesting. The goal is to be interested.
Interested. Okay, but that just feels like asking a lot of questions. Where are you from? What do you study? It can feel like an interview. It still feels unnatural.
It does if the questions are just a script. The problem isn't the questions themselves. It's the belief that you need a perfect opening line to even begin.
Right. I spend so much time thinking about the first thing to say. I worry it will sound strange or random. By the time I think of something, the moment has passed.
We see this in movies. The hero says a witty line and the conversation starts perfectly. We think that's how it works, so we wait for that perfect line, but it never comes. We're trying to start on step 10.
So we shouldn't worry about the first line?
The first line has only one job: to open the door. It doesn't need to be brilliant. In fact, it's better if it's simple. Something you both share in that moment. An observation.
Like what?
This room is a lot more crowded than I expected. Or, I'm not sure if I'm in the right place for the marketing seminar. It's simple. It's safe. It gives the other person an easy way to respond. All you want to do is initiate a connection.
So the opening line isn't the main event. It's just a key to unlock the door.
Exactly. A very simple key. You're just saying, I'm here, you're here, let's share this space for a moment. The pressure for the perfect line disappears because the line itself barely matters.
Okay, that helps with starting. But then comes the hard part, the silence after they answer. They say, yes, it is crowded. And then nothing. My mind goes blank again.
This is the second false belief, that you need a list of questions to keep the conversation going.
But don't you? How else do you avoid that awkward silence?
We believe conversation is like a game of tennis. I ask a question, you answer. You ask, I answer. Back and forth. But if you're just focused on the next question on your list, you aren't actually listening.
I'm too busy thinking about what to say next to avoid the silence.
And the other person can feel that. They feel like they're being interviewed, not connected with. The solution isn't another question from your list. It's to listen to the answer they just gave you. Truly listen.
What do you mean?
Inside almost every answer, someone gives you a little gift, a detail, an emotion, a keyword. Let's call it a hook. Your only job is to notice the hook and ask about that.
A hook? Can you give me an example?
You ask, what are you studying? The student script in your head expects an answer like engineering, and your next question is, oh, what year are you?
Right, that's exactly what I do.
But what if they say, well, I just switched into engineering from fine arts, which has been a huge change. The hook isn't engineering. The hooks are switched, fine arts, and huge change. So instead of asking about their year, I could ask, wow, from fine arts to engineering, what made you decide to switch? Yes, now you are having a real conversation. You are not following a script. You are following your curiosity. You're showing genuine interest in their unique story, not just their label.
So I don't need a list of questions. I just need one good starting question, and then I just have to listen for the hook.
And if you are genuinely curious, the listening part becomes easy. You stop performing and start exploring. You're not thinking, what do I say next? You're thinking, that's interesting. I want to know more about that.
That feels like a lot less pressure. But then there's the third fear, the end. How do you leave without being rude? Sometimes I get stuck in a conversation that has gone on too long.
That fear of being trapped is another reason we avoid starting conversations in the first place. The third common belief is that ending a conversation is an awkward failure.
It always feels like one. It's like saying, I'm done with you now.
Why does it feel that way?
Because it feels like a rejection, like I'm saying they aren't interesting enough to keep talking to.
But in a busy place like a career fair or a party, conversations are expected to end. People need to move around. A polite exit isn't a failure. It's a necessary social skill. It shows you know how to navigate these situations successfully.
So how do you do it politely?
You give a warm, simple closing statement. First, acknowledge the conversation. It was really great hearing about your switch from fine arts. Then state your reason for leaving. I should probably go find my friend before she thinks I got lost, or I need to grab a drink of water. Finally, wish them well. It was lovely to meet you. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event.
It sounds so simple when you say it like that. Acknowledge, state, wish well. It's a formula, but it sounds natural.
It's a structure that signals respect. Respect for their time and for yours. Having a clear exit plan makes you much more confident to initiate the conversation in the first place. You know you won't get stuck.
Okay, this all makes sense. Start with a simple observation, listen for the hook, and exit politely. But what if the other person doesn't give you any hooks? What if they just give one-word answers? Yeah, nope, it's fine. It feels like all the work is on me then. If this is true, why do good students still struggle so much?
That is a real possibility. Sometimes the other person is shy or distracted or just not in the mood to talk. And in those moments, it can feel like you are failing.
Yes, it feels like my fault. I must be boring them.
But remember the reframe. Your job is not to be interesting. It is not your responsibility to force someone to talk. Your job is to offer an opportunity for connection. If they don't take it, that is not a reflection on you.
So if they give short answers, I shouldn't just keep asking more and more questions?
Probably not. That's when the conversation starts to feel unbalanced. A good conversation should feel reciprocal.
Meaning they should be putting in some effort too.
Exactly. If you've offered 2 or 3 gentle questions based on your observations and they give you nothing back, it is perfectly okay to use your polite exit strategy. Well, it was nice to meet you. I'm going to go look at the booths over there. Have a good afternoon. You haven't failed. You simply discovered that this wasn't the right person or the right moment for a conversation, and that's okay.
So the whole process, it's not about having a perfect script. It's more of a mindset, a system.
Yes, you initiate with a simple shared observation. You listen with genuine curiosity for the hook in their answer. You ask about that hook, and the conversation flows from there. When it feels complete, you navigate a polite exit. It's a loop of curiosity.
A curiosity loop. I like that. So it's not a performance. It's more like being a detective, in a friendly way. I'm just looking for clues about what this person cares about. And if I find a clue, the conversation builds itself.
And when you find that clue, and they share something that matters to them, you start to build something special. You build rapport.
And that feels much better than just small talk. It feels like a real connection, even a small one.
That is the entire point. Small talk isn't the goal. It's the bridge to that feeling of connection.
I think I've been so focused on building the perfect, beautiful bridge that I never even try to cross it. I just stand on the edge worrying. But you're saying I just need to lay down one simple plank to initiate the crossing. A perfect analogy. And if the other person puts a plank down in return, the bridge starts to build itself. The conversation becomes reciprocal. And if they don't, I just walk back off my plank and go find somewhere else to build. No failure, just a change of location. Precisely. You learn to navigate the whole landscape, not just one spot. The pressure is off. You don't need to be the interesting person. You just need to be the person who is willing to listen with genuine curiosity. That actually makes me feel calm. It makes me want to try. The goal isn't to be a great talker. The goal is to be a great listener. Something just clicked. The focus is on them, not me. And that changes everything.
And to all of you listening, we hope something clicked for you too. Thank you for joining us on Modern Skills in English. We're always curious to know what's on your mind. If there's a topic or a challenge you'd like us to explore in a future episode, please let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.